So David Coote, Premier League referee and part-time model for Aardman Animations, has been suspended pending an investigation after some derogatory comments were made on a viral video that's gone, a video that's gone viral basically, around Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp. Now, I'm not going to repeat what he said because, quite frankly, he's a moron. But it, for me, is an indictment on the state of Premier League refereeing and brings into question the PGMOL as a whole, due to the fact that this coming to light, coupled with the fact that the allegations around from a number of fans around the validity of Michael Oliver over the past number of years as well, and a lot of information coming out from Mike Dean since he's retired in terms of how he used to run his VAR checks. It's a damning indictment as a whole into, like I said, into the state of refereeing in English football, and it brings to question whether there is a possibility of some sort of possible match fixing in a sense, or bias from the referees in a sense. And I think if that becomes a question of doubt from a standpoint from a fan base, you're in deep trouble as a governing body. And I think that is what is possibly going to happen in some stage, in some capacity, sometime soon. It is incredible, the situation that's happened. Obviously, the PGMOL released a statement yesterday stating that David Coote has been suspended with immediate effect pending a full investigation. PGMOL will not be making any further comments until that process is complete. Now, the only major factor into this realistically is basically the validity of the video itself. Is it him actually in the video, or is it like an AI or something like that? So that seems to be the sense of what's kind of going on. The video itself refers to a game between Liverpool and Burnley back in July of 2020, which David Coote actually refereed, and it basically is referring to an argument that Coote had with Klopp after the match, due to the fact that Coote hadn't given certain fouls, or Klopp felt that David Coote hadn't given fouls within the game. Now, as we've seen recently by David Coote, he's not afraid to give a foul, especially when given a nudge by VAR. Obviously, the Matej Delict one recently was David Coote on refereeing duty, and if you actually watch the game at the weekend for Liverpool, David Coote was refereeing that game. And when Darwin Núñez scores the opener, Mohamed Salah gets brought down by Leon Bailey. I think everybody in the stadium thinks it's a foul. David Coote waves it off. He doesn't play on. He waves it off as a no foul, and which is baffling to me because every person in that stadium and every person watching that on TV could see that was a blatant foul. And again, this is where consistency, quality, possible bias come into play. I don't think it's an indictment on the whole situation with the PGMOL. I think they need to have a good look at themselves, look at their structure, look at the referees that are in their teams, and maybe go a bit deeper into the whole fact of who these referees basically are supporting, who are they refereeing against, and everything like that. Obviously, David Coote, he's from Nottinghamshire. He's registered as a Notts County fan, but still, these sort of situations that will occur, if he's seen his back off the back of a Liverpool 1-1 draw, where the manager at the time, he's not even the manager anymore, But if the manager at the time, Jurgen Klopp, has basically scathed him for decisions he'd made, and he's now taking issue with that I get that people have their opinions, but you are a Premier League referee. You have to hold yourself accountable to your opinion. I know for a fact that if people, for example, that work within the structure of Manchester United, even for people that like work the kiosks or the stand or the food stands and stuff like that, they're not allowed to publicly criticise the club. And yes, that sounds harsh, and it might be some form of kind of narrative building and restriction on kind of self-belief or personal free speech. But at the end of the day, you're working for that company. I wouldn't go out to somebody publicly on this kind of platform and slag off the companies I work for. It's not something I would do. So you have to have that level of accountability, and you have to have that level of thought process in terms of what you're saying and where you're saying it and how you're saying it. With this, it is a horrifically stupid thing to do. You cannot do this sort of thing. It's similar to when Sam Allardyce got caught giving advice to the people in regards to basically how he got sacked from the England job. Yes, it was a kind of sting operation, and he was caught, and it was a bit harsh on Sam Allardyce and what happened. But at the end of the day, he was still doing something he shouldn't be doing whilst at England boss. Now, David Coote has done something here where he's a Premier League referee. You can't be saying to people in videos and stuff like that, I think Liverpool are this, I think Jurgen Klopp is that. You cannot do that. You have to hold yourself accountable. And this is where I think, personally, he may see the end of his tenure as a Premier League referee. It could happen. It most definitely could happen. But we'll see what happens with it. I think that there needs to be a hard look at the English referees as a whole. I think that the quality of refereeing, the consistency of refereeing, and we've seen it over the last couple of weeks, the last couple of years now, the quality and consistency of refereeing in this country is some of the worst in the world. Some of the most controversial decisions in the previous Euros were given by English referees and English VAR. So there needs to be a structural look at things, and if it carries on the way it is, if especially if there's possible, I think match fixing goes too far, maybe. But if there's bias, there's going to be consequences to that, and if there's going to be government involvement and stuff like that, there will be heads will roll, and we'll see what happens. It might be the start of a big infrastructure kind of reset for the PGMOL, but we'll see what happens with it. But as of the time of recording, Coote has been suspended. There's a possibility he could be relieved of his refereeing duties, but we'll see what happens. But again, like I said, it might be a ruse. It might be an AI video, but you never know. I think that if it is true, he should hold himself accountable, and that what he's done, he shouldn't have done. And now this is where he now has to bear the brunt of the mistake. But let me know, guys, what you think in the comments down below. Are referees as a whole, what do you think of the quality of the referees as a whole? What do you think of this situation with David Coote? Like this video if you've liked it. Subscribe if you're new. Let's get the subscribers up for this channel. And until next time, guys, take care.